Hello, ladies and gentlemen, it's Friday. And shall we say, thank God it's Friday? Of course, we should. It's the 22nd day of August 2025, and we're here again with the mandate, one simple mandate of increasing our net worth via investing in the capital markets. Thank you very much for keeping faith and continually building quietly, because I always say that when you build quietly, they don't know what to attack. This is me welcoming everybody to today's live stream, the last trading day of the week. Hopefully, the much awaited bargains for the weekend shall be coming our way. How is your portfolio doing, and how are you coping with the current market trends? Thank you very much for joining from everywhere you are. It's my privilege to be with you again to take you through this session and, of course, enjoy your presence. You know how we do it. From the onset, we begin to share the live stream and like it repeatedly until we come to the end of the live stream. Remember, today is Friday. We will continue with market updates regarding yesterday's performances in the market. And of course, then we come back to your comments along the line. We will eventually let the lines open by 1 p.m. Nigerian time, 1 hour into this live stream. Then we will get your calls from TikTok. This is me also introducing our in-house moderators and, of course, co-hosts. Thank you very much, UK Views. I see the gifts there. Talking about Maobi, ever present. He will be joining me along the line while we look for bargains to respond to some of your questions. He's also on the comment section trying to help to solve some of the questions by way of responses to as many as he can cope with. You know how we do it also? If you type a question and it's not been responded to, repeatedly type, repeatedly send, so that it will catch my attention, because the system scrolls on its own and sometimes I skip a lot of comments and messages along the line. This is when you need guidance in the market. I realize that in spite of all what we've been saying and doing here, people still go ahead to chase stocks that are flying. So sometimes there's little you can do after helping with the little information you think can help others. Then, of course, we will still be here to lend a helping hand in trying to stabilize them. You know, a lot of people thought that the insurance sector was going to crash. They were losing money. And thank God I told some people yesterday, and up till the day before yesterday as well, that they should just stay on there and wait to see how low it dips. If it doesn't, then there will be a recovery so that they don't lose money so quickly and eventually get discouraged. We are in a marathon, I repeat. 2 years from now, you won't see all these insurance stocks at these prices you are seeing them today. So forget about the naysayers. I call them naysayers because they are the ones who come to buy and sell very quickly over our heads, while you focus on the best of the best. Okay? All right. So quick review of what happened yesterday in the exchange. The benchmark all share index declined by 87 basis points to close at 140,332.44 points. Market capitalization also decreased, closing at 88.8 trillion naira. Market breadth was negative at 0.36 times. This performance was driven by gains in Jaiz Bank 9.75%, NSL Tech 9.38%, and Omatech 5.88%. Losses in International Energy Insurance, Thomas Wyatt, and UPL all dropping 10% each. Trading activity was robust on the day, by the way, with the volume of shares traded decreasing by 21% to 573.68 million shares, while total value of shares traded declined by 1% to 12.86 billion naira. So while the market was still declining, money was still exchanging hands, and that's what we call smart money. 12.86 billion already expended. The most actively traded stocks by volume were Fidelity Bank with 96.07 million units. Now pay attention. So much of those stocks are being traded. So that verifies or confirms my assertion that someone is offloading. And the moment that person is done offloading, you will surely not find Fidelity at 20 anymore. Veritas Cap with 36.6 million units and Universal Insurance with 32.93 million units. In terms of value, Fidelity Bank led with 1.99 billion. Someone, somewhere, or some group of people have staked almost 2 billion naira in Fidelity just in one day, yesterday's trading. Now, that's followed by MTN at 1.2 billion and Stanbic by 1.07 billion. Now, let's keep going as we progress. Rehoboth or Gratitude Boss is also one of the admins. Oremos may be joining, and so on and so forth. So they will respond to some of your questions that I may mistakenly skip, but by all means, let's get involved. Like, share, participate in the comments section. All right. Both NGX and US stocks are losing. Why? Rush 4. Very simple. The market doesn't move on a straight line. Every time there's a surge, there is going to be a pullback. Very simple arithmetics of the stock market. That's why. Keep your comments coming in. I've tried to make it brief regarding the review so that we can focus on a lot of comments before the time to take the calls. Right? So let's keep going, ladies and gentlemen. Okay. Good afternoon to you. What's the best price to bid for Zenith today? Official Mobos. I'm noticing that Zenith is trying to gain a little from yesterday, which means it's not all the way down as we were thinking, though bid and offer a little almost equilibrium, but with more bids. Interestingly, perhaps that's why Zenith is now 69 naira 40 kobo from the 68.30 it closed yesterday. I knew all along that at 68 that was a fantastic price, but you never can tell how the market swings. So we have bids at 69 and upwards, up to 1.3 million bids at 69 naira and upwards. Total bids 8.3 million shares. Total offers 7.3 million shares. So I would say still something around the 68, just in case more buyers come into the market before the market closes, especially from 2 p.m. when the pressure will be on sellers to offload, because that means 20 minutes is left from 2 p.m. for the market to close. So those who are really desirous of selling will now be hard pressed to sell by that time, but they won't sell to you if you until about 1.3 million shares based on the current standing is sold. And this is barring any situation where more bids at 69 and upwards comes in. So you want to take a risk and place a bid at 68 naira, say 90 kobo, or 68 naira 80 kobo. All right, and then hopefully it goes well. Coach, please, what's your take on NIDF? John Udo. Well, NIDF may not give you too much capital gains at the moment. I am thinking most institutional investors have not really perhaps understood it, or it doesn't really fit into their investment criteria, or they just haven't paid it the attention that it would deserve. Otherwise, it's a very good dividend stock, and every 3 months you get paid dividend for having that stock. There are only 2 stocks that does that in the NGX. That's talking about NIDF and Seplat. Seplat is already out of hand. Dividend yield from Seplat is nothing compared to NIDF. So you get better yield from NIDF, if I'm not mistaken. All right, so Mutual Benefits, which was heavily offloaded yesterday, is still now gaining from 404 when it closed to 4 naira 32 kobo. 10 million bids versus 2 million offers. I repeatedly noticed and kept saying that Mutual Benefits Assurance amongst the penny insurance stocks has been identified as the fans' favorite, if you like. The market really loves that stock and continues to pile into it. Okay? All right. Can I buy more tip? Rush 4. There is no overbuying when it comes to a very good stock. TIP is a very good stock. The point is, if you want to be careful with what price you enter per time, then that's when you want to take your time to decide. Otherwise, even now is a good time to buy TIP, irrespective of how much it ends up with at the end of the rights issue. But the truth is, a good company will always give you returns and reward you for that. 12 naira 10 kobo currently, could still drop further. 929,000 bids versus 4 million offers. So there is a likelihood that TIP may drop further. I'm seeing a situation where there is a bit of a resistance by the bulls. You know, it's a fight all the time between the bulls and the bears. I've explained this to you. The bears are, the market is referred to a bearish market when prices are dropping and bullish when prices are rising. So as it is right now, it's looking like after the bears got a good stranglehold of the market in the last 2 days, the bulls are trying to fight back because some stocks are trying to recover some of the losses they recorded in the past 2 or 3 days. So we are watching to see, while others are going to be affected. TIP currently 12 naira 10 kobo. You can buy, or you can wait to see whether it drops below 12 naira, or at whatever price you are bagging TIP, especially if you are staying for the long term. That's okay. Sydney Ebuka says, please, what price can I be to add to my Zenith, UBA, Fidelity, and Access? I've just mentioned that Zenith 68 naira 80 kobo is a fair price to enter, but that's if sellers are willing to sell to you at that price eventually. And then for Access and UBA, Access is currently down to 26.80, just 15 kobo down from yesterday's 26.95, right? And we're having 12 million offers versus 9.9 million bids. So for Access, something around 26.65 or 26.50 best bargain, but that's if you ever get it at that price. Then for UBA, we're seeing it drop to 47.95 from the 48 it closed yesterday, this very second. 11 million offers versus 8 million bids. You can go in at 47.80 or thereabouts if you have to buy today, and which I'll hope that they sell to you. Coach, is Charms a good buy now? And any US stock recommendation? Cool Prince. I haven't done any US stock recommendation yet. I could have easily checked through my my watch list, but I'm never ever armed with that. I don't know what's happening to me regarding the live stream with the US stocks at the moment. Charms, I will say this about Charms. Charms is appearing to be one of the cheapest stocks in the market. And my conclusion is very simple to understand. It's been more than 1 full year that Charms has been at 2 naira. Now, between that 1 year from last year plus, 1 year plus, and now, Charms has actually added much more value in 1 full year than they have ever done. That is to say, in the last 1 year, Charms has progressed and created much more value within the last 1 year compared to what they have ever done in a 1 year period. Yet, the stock price is still at 2. And then, interestingly, they are also offering rights issue at 1 naira 70 kobo. So I don't see anybody going wrong buying Charms now. If there's any stock to be afraid of, it is those stocks that have been rising since January. And Charms has just been looking at everyone. Well, I know its own day will come. And by that time, I'll be back here to say, you remember when Charms was 2 naira for so long and I mentioned, now it's 5 naira. Now it's 7 naira. That time will come. This is a game of patience. Just imagine you panic sold your Charms because every other stock was pulling back in the last 3 days. Charms has stubbornly refused to go down, despite having a rights issue that is so cheap. So the owners of the company are trying to retain their hold on the company because of the kind of value they are creating that they can see, but the market can't see yet. So that's it about charms. All right, Coach, what do you think of FTN Cocoa? The results were very horrible and did not justify the price it ran to. So it found its way back down, but it looks like it's trying to stabilize around 6. Yesterday it closed at 6 naira per share. Today is 6 naira 60 kobo. It's gained maximum. So it's looking like it's trying to do the second round of rise because currently FTN Cocoa is on full bid. So some people will target certain stocks that are liquid enough to also do what we call GJO. GJO in advanced stock market parlance is jump in, jump out. That is short-term quick trades. It's a matter of knowing what stocks they are targeting and playing correctly, because if you try to risk mimicking them, you could get into trouble. So currently, FTN Cocoa, which we saw drop to 5 naira during that crash from however high it went, was it 9 or 11 or so? Now we're seeing it begin a second round of upward movement. I remember, okay, it was 8 naira 25 kobo it got to from 198 that we started watching that stock. So it's established some level of support above 6 from what I'm seeing that is playing out right now. I was able to buy tip at 11 naira 76 yesterday. I went because it was just few minutes to closing. Yes, that's what happens. Sometimes you play this game like an expert hunter, right? You set your trap and go away. Whether it works or not, it shouldn't bother you. But should a desperate seller come and is so desperate to sell the same day with the market about to close, no time to waste, they just go and sell down irrationally. It happens a lot. So sometimes if you want to hit the best bargains, you have to be the most patient person in the room. And that is to say, no matter what bids are high up there, just place some very tempting bids when the volume is much. And a lot of times those people have a lot of the stocks to sell because they want bulk money. So they will overlook who is bidding 13 naira with 10,000 shares and come down to you who has bidded 12 naira 10 kobo with 1 million shares. That's what happens, because they are not looking at the price at that point. They need the bulk money. So they will ignore all those people, go straight to you, sell to you before they come back and start picking the crumbs at a higher price. That's the way desperate sellers behave. So if you understand this, you can just be picking up stocks very cheap, any target stock, especially in a down market and on Fridays like this, because Fridays are very happy days for buyers. If you are not following me, I can assure you, you are losing money. Ladies and gentlemen, let me also confirm to you that all the views expressed in this live stream are entirely mine and personal. Therefore, please just, it's not an investment advice. Do your due diligence, right? Please advise, which shares can I buy today that pays dividend for long term? FM Kotler. Can you confirm in what market you are asking? The NGX or the US market? Please, which app is good to buy Nigerian stocks? Well, I do not recommend apps, but other people use all sorts of apps, from Bamboo to Investment One to AfriInvest 2.0 and all that. Nigerian stocks that pays dividend, FM Kotler, all right? There are so many, I can name them. Those that pay twice a year: GTCO, Zenith Bank, UBA, Fidelity Bank. NIDF pays 3 times a year. Presco pays twice a year. Okomo Oil pays twice a year. NACO pays once a year, but fantastic dividend. All right. Okay. Of course, Aradel, the oil industry, pays twice a year. Please, why do stocks go down on Mondays to Thursdays? Parcel HVAC Tech. I do not think that is the trend. There is no specific date assigned for stocks to go down or to go up. So it's important for us to note that whatever you are seeing, they are just occurrences that are not really scheduled to happen as often or as regularly as you may have observed. Anything can happen on Monday, anything can happen on Friday, doesn't really matter. It all depends on the emotions of those in the market per time. That's why history is not also the best pointers to the future, even though it can serve as a guide. If you've been long in the stock market, you would have heard that past performance does not guarantee future success. That's what the market is. Anything can happen, anything can change at any time. Even if you have noticed a specific pattern, it's not going to be there forever. Coach, what do you think of GTCO Enterprise today? GTCO was looking fantastic yesterday. Let's see what the enterprise is looking like today. 92.60. I remember I stated that from 93, 92 is a good enterprise for GTCO. And there are 11 million bids versus 13 million offers. But while we are talking, GTCO has jumped to about 93 naira per share. And bid and offer status remains as mentioned. Please, at what price should I buy Okomo oil? I want to reinvest my dividend and top up. Okomo oil. Wow, 918 naira per share. Okomo oil. Okay. Okomo oil is on full offer. This is really interesting. And this is where I want those who I am personally mentoring to hold on and see how far this drops. If no supply is made up to the close of business today, maybe you should pick up a little at 918. Who knows? There may not be enough transactions to make the price close at 918 naira per share. So, up to you. Between NGX stock and U.S. stock, which one is available to invest on? Richard, every stock is available, every market is open as far as it's not public holiday. Coach, please, can I top up my first hold call at the current price? I entered at 25 naira, Kaka. First hold call. I'm wondering if it can drop before the third quarter result is out. That would have been the best entry position. But we are seeing a very huge bid, 20 million bids versus 4.8 million offers. And there are 500,000 bids at 32 naira 50 kobo. So these are very genuine bids I'm seeing in First Bank. I think you could, and considering the fact that the highest bid is at 32.50, and that means more than 1 million shares has to be sold before you get there for bidding 32.50, maybe you should bid at 32.60 or 32.70, because I am seeing a situation where the 32.75 offer may just be cleared and then the price continues to go higher. Coach, good morning. Do I buy more MTN or sell? Ikembe Zonic. MTN. Well, if you are buying MTN, make sure you are averaging down. Otherwise, still wait to see how low the pullback gets. If MTN does not declare an interim dividend, it might affect the price movement or slow down any rise in the price. So after the third quarter result, we will hear, but it will not be too much of a surprise if they still refuse to pay interim dividend for 2025. Please, sir, what's the entry point for Boa Foods? Boa has been on a topsy-turvy. Currently 539 naira. Excuse me. Down from 575. And it's looking like it will take some time before it recovers, because there are just 2,000 bids versus 769,000 offers. The insurance stocks are bouncing back up. Veritas is gaining 18 kobo per share, now 1 naira 98 kobo. Hi coach, is it safe to go in on insurance stocks yet? Yes, Louisa, I think it's looking safe now to take position in some of your most preferred insurance stocks, because they are suddenly jumping back up. From what I'm seeing, WAPIC that dropped to 296 yesterday is now up to 310, and 900,000 bids only. Offers only. Total bids 6.5 million. So it's looking good to get back in to insurance stocks. Veritas, which closed at 1 naira 80 kobo, is now at 195 and has only 412,000 offers versus 21,000 bids. Okay. All right. So pick your best insurance stocks and hopefully you take position before they keep jumping. Sunu Insurance is up to 605 from 5 naira 74 kobo. Keep your comments coming in. If I miss your comments, please do well to retype. Just copy those comments when you type them for the first time, and from time to time repeatedly post them, so it can be easier to respond to. Beautifying Shop says, Coach, charms or jais for my 70-year-old sister? Charms or jais? Wow, that's tricky, but both of them are very good. If the money is in bulk, you can split amongst the two. Otherwise, go all in for charms. What do you think about Lasaco Insurance? Well, it's one of those old names, been there all along, right from when I started investing in stocks. Lasaco Insurance has been there, so you understand how long they've been there. But it's not about being long in the game, it's about results. In any case, Lasaco Insurance is on full bid once again. 11.8 million bids, 0 offers. What's your take on NASCON for long term? NASCON is a solid long-term stock, and anybody who is really desirous of holding such a company, as long as you have your patience, that patience will be rewarded, because NASCON is a very viable company and continues to create value. All right.